Hello everybody and welcome back to another F1 Roundup brought to you by SeedStream. I'll tell you more about that in a moment. We're in the midst of F1's summer break, so nothing much is happening on track, but there are a whole bunch of rumours going on off track. So that is what today's video is going to be all about. Those rumours plus everything else surrounding Formula One can of course be found in the SeedStream F1 app. This is an app that some friends and I got together and created because we wanted to make the best F1 app out there, and I firmly believe that's what we've done. Everything you need in one place. One of my favourite features is the article summary feature, where when you get a story or an article pop up on any given topic, there's a little abbreviated summary to give you an overview of what the article says if you haven't got time to read the whole thing, and I use it a lot. I'd love it if you give it a try. There'll be a link in the description of this video, or go to any of your app stores and search SeedStream. Right, rumours in Formula One right now. There are a few going on. Some of them surround the Aston Martin team, and so that's where we're going to start. Lots of talk now that Adrian Newey either has or is about to sign a contract at the Aston Martin team worth an astronomical amount of money. $100 million is the number being bandied around for Adrian Newey's services at Aston Martin. They are one of the few teams that can afford to pay that amount of money, one of the few teams that are willing to pay that amount of money, and they are a team that are desperate for success, and seemingly Lawrence Stroll willing to do pretty much anything to try and make that success happen. Whether it's a sustainable long-term plan for success, I don't know. They seem to be throwing money in all sorts of areas trying to make this success happen, but so far they haven't been able to generate enough of it on a sustainable basis. Can Adrian Newey be the man to turn that around? Of course, with a major rule set change coming up in 2026, he's the guy that has a proven track record over many, many years of doing exactly that, of seeing the opportunities in a new set of regulations. And this is the biggest shift in F1 regulations perhaps ever between one season and the next. And so that is the guy you want on your team. But there are lots of teams that have been looking to have Adrian Newey, to bring him into their fray. And there's been lots of rumours. Could he join Ferrari and hook up with both Ferrari and Lewis Hamilton, make a kind of dream team there? They also have a huge amount of money to pay him. Could he go to Williams, a team that has just signed Carlos Sainz and is looking to build something big under James Vowles? Even Mercedes and McLaren and others have all been linked to Adrian Newey, and I have no doubt he's had offers from pretty much everywhere. But if it is Aston Martin, why would he be thinking about going there? Yes, a huge sum of money like that is very difficult to actually turn down, and even if you've got all the money that Adrian has, big numbers like that do turn heads. But perhaps he's been given some kind of freedom, some kind of opportunity that's bigger than just the money. Whether it's bringing in his own team of engineers, that's another rumour that potentially Ferrari weren't necessarily happy with. If you sign Adrian Newey, you might also have to sign up to 20 other engineers that Adrian wants in his team to make the whole thing work. Maybe that doesn't work for other teams. Maybe it feels like a destabilising element to a team like McLaren that's already on the up and doing very well, that's already on a trajectory or a path towards success. Do they want or even need an Adrian Newey coming in that might just destabilise that? Those are all the questions that everyone's had to ask themselves, but it's looking more and more likely like an Aston Martin could be the destination. And on that note, could it also be a destination for Max Verstappen? Now, this seems like a very strange and unlikely one, yet it was a rumour and it did pop up inside the SeedStream app just this week gone. Max Verstappen to Aston Martin alongside Adrian Newey, well, that could well be a dream team of its own, couldn't it? Now, if you think about that, yes, the driver pairing of Max Verstappen and maybe a Fernando Alonso, if he's still around at that point, that is a wonderful partnership. They are building some great teams of engineers in the background, and if they got an Adrian Newey and the people that he wants around him, the design team is also looking pretty great. They've got a wonderful facility with the very best and latest equipment when it comes to things like wind tunnels, all things that are exciting to both an engineer like Adrian, but also to a driver like Max, someone who is looking to be surrounded by the very best as he moves forward in his career, if indeed he ends up leaving the Red Bull team. As ever, of course, I would love to know your thoughts on that and any other rumours that crop up in this video or elsewhere. What do you think? Could Adrian end up Aston Martin? And would it be a good move or a bad move for both the team, Adrian, Max if he were to go to, and perhaps the sport? What do you think? Let's talk about something else that's cropped up in terms of driver moves. First of all, there is a spare seat at Mercedes. As we know, Lewis Hamilton goes to Ferrari. Is that seat actually already taken? Because another rumour that cropped up in a story in the SeedStream app this week was that Kimi Antonelli, the young driver currently racing in F2, has signed a contract with Mercedes. Whether or not that is true, we don't know for sure. But when these rumours start circulating, there's quite often something behind them. And Kimi Antonelli is a driver that has been talked about in such high regard by lots of people that have worked with him at Mercedes in tests, people that know him and know how he operates, have had the opportunity to get to know him up close and personal. Could that now be a done deal? And if it is, by the way, it feels like a great move for Mercedes. Of course, it's a risk and a gamble, but perhaps there aren't too many options out there right now. And there are a number of young drivers in recent times that have shown they are generally ready. The junior categories are preparing drivers well for the big step up to Formula One. And when you've worked with a driver like that from an engineering point of view at tests like Mercedes have, you get to know a lot more than just the racing results will tell you. And therefore they have a much greater insight into whether or not he will fit into that team and how he might handle the pressures of Formula One. I'd love to see him on the grid. Let's hope it happens. Carlos Sainz to Williams. I can see why that happened. I think it was a sensible move for Carlos. It seemed to be dragging on and on and on. And of course, he would have loved a seat directly at the top table. But I genuinely believe that he and the people at Williams under James Vowles think that they will be providing a seat at the top table, maybe not in 2025, but for 2026, they feel like they have as good a shot as anybody else. And I tend to agree. They are building a strong team. They've got some great facilities and they are heading in the right direction. James Vowles, I think, is going to be a great leader of an organisation like that. And he's a guy with a proven track record at Mercedes. He knows how to win. He knows what it takes to generate success and sustain it at Mercedes. And if he can bring that to Williams, that could end up being a really good move, couldn't it? And finally, Checo Perez stays at Red Bull for now. I don't think this is a long-term commitment to Sergio Perez. I'm not even sure it's a commitment into 2025, which is what his contract is there for. But it's definitely a commitment to see him in that Red Bull seat until at least the end of this season. But Helmut Marko has hinted that changes are afoot, that Liam Lawson will find a way into the Formula One grid, and that means somebody will have to make way for him. Now, could that be Daniel Ricciardo? Could that be Sergio Perez moving and Daniel Ricciardo moving up to the main team? Only time will tell, but I definitely don't think we've seen the last of the changes or even the rumours about changes in that Red Bull driver team, driver lineup. They have 4 drivers on the grid right now, 1 more sitting in the sidelines who is looking like he'll get a seat. Somebody is going to have to make way. I'd love to know who you think that will be and any of your thoughts on all of these rumours and stories that I've talked about today. Anything else you've seen in the SeedStream app. And on that subject, I would love it if you went ahead and downloaded SeedStream. It's absolutely free. And if you're a Formula One fan like me, I'm pretty sure you're going to enjoy it. See you soon, guys.